I was interested in the DLI program because I had a student that was at age to start kindergarten, and I felt like it was a great opportunity for him to expand his knowledge and set him up for success.
When I first heard about the DLI program here in our township, being a lifelong resident and having children coming through, I got really intrigued, to be honest, and knowing that I went to Franklin Central and I did study a foreign language for several years, but I'm not fluent like I would like to be. So the fact that I'm giving my children a chance to be fluent, or maybe even have a stamp on, whatever certificate that says they are bilingual, it opens up the world of possibilities for these children. And I can't imagine, how many jobs that are out there for children that are, bilingual or speak more than one language. And I just think it's an awesome opportunity. So that's why I really signed my children up. It's because I just wanted to open the door. Plus, how many more people can you communicate with in the world knowing more than one language? And that's something I wish for myself, honestly.
Some benefits that he has that I've seen through his experience through the DLI program are a wide, vast variety of words. I don't know if all of them are necessarily true Spanish words, but he has really had his imagination going throughout the last year and a half of being in the DLI program. He gets excited to go to school and to learn new things, and he gets excited for the special field trips and just seeing his friends each day. And the constant knowledge coming in, I think, really helps him stay focused.
So some benefits that I have seen from my children being in the DLI program, I noticed that they are starting to communicate on a very basic level, some different Spanish words. The other day I went through Starbucks and I ordered a grande, and my kindergarten son immediately said, "Why are they speaking Spanish at Starbucks?" And I said, "Well, what's that word mean?" And he immediately spat out, "It means big or large." And I was just kind of taken back, like, wow, you're listening, but you're also, being able to understand what you're learning. So that right there was a really cool one. And then I've noticed some side conversations also. They'll walk up to each other and they'll say, "¿Cómo estás?" "Muy bien, ¿y tú?" And this is a second grader in a kindergarten who are, talking to each other in another language as English as their first language. So, I mean, that right there is just kind of a wow factor and a benefit in itself. But I've also noticed their reading in the English side has become a lot more fluent because they're taking that strength that they already have, and it's just really blossoming that. But they're also really putting in the time and effort in the English or the Spanish part of that as well. So I would definitely say those are some benefits.
At home, I help my student with just listening. I myself am not bilingual or biliterate, so I really just give him an opportunity to tell me how proud he is of his work and of his friends and of his teachers. And I really give him the opportunity to just say, "Hey Mom, I've learned this new thing recently," or "This is a new word that I know," or he could also just be the everyday first grader that says, "I didn't learn anything today." But knowing that while he's in the shower or playing with his friends or toys, he's also counting to 30 in Spanish or to 100 in Spanish, or randomly saying words throughout the day, I know that he's benefiting greatly from his everyday experience in the DLI program.
So obviously with myself only speaking one language, we come through a lot of hurdles or obstacles when helping with homework or helping do projects outside of school. And one of the ways I've been able to help them, obviously the easiest one would be Google Translate. There are vocabulary words that I don't know, and I'll type them into my phone, but I won't let my kids see it. We'll use a lot of context clues and basic knowledge things that I know from my background in Spanish to really try to figure it out. But if it's truly a hard one, maybe we'll even ask Alexa. One thing I have noticed is if I let my child do their homework by themselves, they will start using Alexa. So I'll have to unplug her and be like, you got to do this by ourselves. Come on, let's try it on our own. So that is definitely something that we've had to kind of work through. But having flashcards, having a math book that is in English and Spanish, I will hold the English one, let them do the Spanish one, and if they have any problems, I can refer to that English manual if I need to. But yeah, those are the things that I would do to help.
I was told at the beginning of enrollment that you may see some struggles with your student as far as testing and everyday delayment of everyday phonics or just what he's experiencing throughout the day in his classroom. I've seen it here and there, but I've also seen a huge improvement with his other skills. His testing has come out great. He really is in an environment he doesn't know that it's any different. He has no idea that any other kindergarten class looks any different. He thinks that this is kindergarten or first grade now, and that everybody's learning what he's learning. So when we talk to our friends or we talk to family, he thinks that everybody is learning Spanish, and he doesn't know that he is a part of a great program that not everybody has the opportunity to join, and we're super grateful that he has had the opportunity to join and be a part of this great experience.
So probably the biggest struggle that I'm coming up with would be the longer reading passages. For example, we did e-learning a couple days ago when it was really cold out, and I had to sit there with my children, and the kindergarten side was pretty easy, but the second grade side, we spent a long time, and yeah, there were tears, but it was just because it was such a lengthy assignment and trying to translate and know what the assignment questions were asking. So just kind of sitting down and really taking the time to help them out with just knowing what is being asked. Because once I figured out what they were asking, my child was able to rattle off what the answer was, no problem. It's more of the adult side trying to learn, what these words really mean, or taking it back to when I was in school of like, oh yeah, that vocabulary word, I remember that now. So just brushing up on my own Spanish skills, I think that is probably the biggest challenge that I'm facing right now. But it's not like I can just let them sit down at the dinner table while I'm cooking dinner. I need to be there to really help them dive into what they're learning and how I can help them. That would be my biggest task.